Hello everyone, Barb here from barbaderholt.closetomyheart.com. I was doing some tidying up and I ran across this chart that I had downloaded from Close to My Heart. It's available if you're a maker, or at this time I think if you were a consultant. It was a technique chart with stamping techniques. And I started reading through the different techniques and thought, ooh, there's some goodies. Of course, solid stamping, I do that all the time. Second generation stamping, I do once in a while. Random stamping to kind of create my own patterned paper, if you will. I've done that. Rock and roll stamping, that's one that I don't do very often. Ombre stamping, I don't think I've ever done that. Masking, I will do once in a while. So I thought it would be fun to do a video and show you some of these techniques. The stamp set that I'm using today to do this is called True Love, and this was an Operation Smile stamp set, and it has this really nice heart on there, a nice big heart. Operation Smile, for those who might not know what it is an organization that Close to My Heart is partnered with to help provide life-saving almost surgeries to children who are born with cleft palates. You can purchase the Operation Smile official stamp set, and $7 of the proceeds go toward these surgeries. This stamp set is always featured on the back cover of our catalogs. The other way you can, if you wish to donate to Operation Smile, is when you place an order. You can click the little box to round up, or if you want to put in a specific dollar amount, you can also do that. Super cute. And I will say our president, Monica, goes along every year. The doctors and the nurses and anesthesiologists and all of those people volunteer their time. And Monica and usually another Close to My Heart maker who's done a lot of fundraising over the year will go down to somewhere in Central America. People will walk for days with their children in hopes that they will be chosen for these life-altering surgeries. It's not just children. I know they have chosen adults, and it's rare for someone to reach adulthood with the severe cleft palates that they see. But this one gentleman, they chose him, and it was life-changing. It truly was. So it's a great organization. It's a great way to do something for someone while getting some nice stuff for yourself. You can buy the stamp set, you can do all the things. But I just wanted to tell you what that is. I know some of my customers see that Operation Smile stamp set on the back, and I never remember to talk about it. And the stamp sets are cute. It'll change now with our new catalog coming out. So let's get started. I think I've got these backwards, so I'm going to flip through them, get them in a better order. I just thought it would be easier to do this in on a bigger surface. I do have some scratch paper. I will use that for stamping off. Solid stamping. I have Smoothie, and I do have some cinnamon if I needed another color. And I am going to use that big heart because, well, it's close to my heart, so that makes sense, right? And what I'm doing is I am pouncing, and then sometimes I'll do a little twisty action and then pounce again to level out that ink. This is a very well seasoned stamp, so it should stamp just fine. And I should get a very nice solid image. And I did. So that is what solid stamping is. It's just basically inking and stamping. Second generation stamping. Again, pounce, pounce, swipe, swipe. Twisty, twisty. Pounce, pounce, pounce. What you want to do for second generation stamping is stamp on scratch paper, straight down, straight up, and then stamp the next generation. And you'll end up with a lighter version. So this doubles the number of colors you have. And I think that's really a cool thing. So there's second generation. So you can see we took off a bunch of the ink here, but there's still some residue on that stamp. So you can stamp it off and get a second generation stamping. Random stamping, I'm going to pull in a couple more stamps. Random stamping, and I'm going to do a little pouncing. You usually start in a corner. And I'm going to do 3 of each of these. So I've got 3 of those hearts, and then I've got my next size, and this says True Love. And unfortunately, this stamp set is no longer available. It hasn't been available in a long time. The other thing, I twist it and turn it. Just like that. And then I've got this other little heart thing. 1, 2, 3. And it gives you a little pattern. And a lot of our stamp sets here at Close to My Heart have a lot of small images that work really well for doing a random stamping technique. And what is next? Ooh, rock and roll stamping. So what this is, I'm going to ink it up, stamp it on my scratch paper, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to, see if I can show you this, kind of roll around the edges, putting this ink back on to kind of give you a darker border around the outside of your image. And we'll see what we end up with here. Sort of okay. I think we'll give it another go. Stamp off. And I'm just going to leave it down here. And I'm just twisting the stamp around. And that's why it's called rock and roll. It's harder for me to do it up in the air. And I like that second result much better. That just puts that full color around the edge and the lighter bit in the middle. A fun technique that I forget to do. Ombre stamping. And we will need a second color here and a little bit of a rag. I've got an old rag. So what we're going to do, I'm inking it up with the smoothie. Taking my rag. No, I have to read the instructions. Ink the image and stamp it onto the scratch paper. That's it. Then you re-ink the bottom 2/3. So about like that. And then you take your rag and you wipe off the bottom third and you ink that up with a darker color. And then you stamp. And you end up with a bit of an ombre. Now this is a pretty dark color, but I like it. I think that looks cool. Good thing I had my instructions close by. Masking. Masking is, I'm using a Post-it note and I'm going to stamp my heart right up at the top of that Post-it note, excuse my head. So I've got it up over the sticky part of the Post-it note. And then, oh, where are my scissors? My goodness, I know they've got to be here. There they are. Got my little scissors, and you cut this out. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. And it will probably be okay if it's not perfect. Don't worry about it. Just quickly cut it out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp an image. So I'm stamping my little heart here, right in the middle. And then I'm going to take my mask and cover this up. And then I'm going to take another image, maybe this little guy, this little flowery guy. And I'm going to go there, and there, pick it up, and it looks like I stamped that over the top of those other images, but actually did it in the other direction. So you stamp the big heart first, mask it off, and then you can stamp other images, and it all goes together. Looks really cool. And then my last technique, this is my technique, and this is one that I forget to do myself, but I'm inking it up, then I'm going to take it and I'm going to swipe. And I'm going to stamp, and I like that texture. It gives you kind of a swipey look. And all I did was just wipe across the stamp pad, and you get kind of a grainy line. And just like that. And it just gives you this mottled look that I think is fun. So I call that the swipe ink stamping. That's my own technique that I came up with. So I hope this helps you to see and maybe review some of those different stamping techniques that are out there in the world. It's great to visit what was old, because it becomes new again. So I hope that you will give some of these techniques a try. And thank you so much for stopping by. Have a blessed, crafty day, and I will see you next time.